All right, it's on you.
Let me transition back here and what's up, everybody? It is Trinell. It is Todd. We're here with a weekly gaming news show. It's episode 98. Yes, we're a little bit late,
Yes,
but it's
but
been nice weather. We've been locked inside and we wanted to get outside.
yes, and at least we're actually coming to you guys on Sunday. That's not
Right.
something that we do here often or like recently. It's just been so nice outside. Like, all right, so starting off. Sorry if I sound and look a little rough right now. I spent my entire day today at King's Dominion, so the voice has been destroyed. Okay, so you're gonna get some really weird sounds coming out of my mouth hole,
My mouth.
my mouth hole. But yeah, it was just a busy weekend. Had a birthday for my niece on Saturday, and then today did King's Dominion. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. We went and saw Infinity War Friday. I went and saw it again today.
Ooh.
Yesterday we went out to the park and enjoyed the weather. I took the girls out. We hung out there and then I barbecued some beef ribs.
Oh
some
Lord!
corns,
Oh Lord!
We just enjoyed the nice weather, man. It's been a long time. It's already April. This is only like the third or fourth day that we've actually had nice weather.
Right, right. So, yeah, we're coming to you guys, episode 98. Boogie has some surprises, man. Episode 100 is right around the corner, baby. It's right around the corner, and you guys will be pleasantly surprised. From what I know, it's going to be a pleasant surprise. I don't even know all the details yet, so look out for that. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the show. I'm gonna start things off with some updates and corrections from our last episode. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and take us there? What are our updates from last week?
Okay, it's actually not from last week. It's actually from episode 96. I think
Oh,
it was.
okay.
This was the Steam spy where Steam changed their terms of service and their privacy. Actually, it was their privacy settings. They changed their privacy settings. And Steam Spy basically, they were a company or a product that basically tracked the number of games, the number of sales of games in Steam, and how long people were playing them. Because that information was public prior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Steam gave the ability for people to make that information private. I think it's for them getting out ahead of the GDPR. If you're unsure what that is, Google it. GDPR. It's a law that's being pushed out by the European Union.
Okay.
But I think they pushed it. They made the privacy change to get out in front of that, and basically it broke Steam Spy because if the data is not out there for them to grab it publicly, they can't really do their job.
Right.
Well, the creator, his name goes by the name of Sergey Galyankin. He had been getting a lot of that's what I'm gonna say.
Hey man, you tried. I wouldn't even have tried, dude.
He got a bunch of email and letters from people that saying, "Hey, look, your service helped us immensely." Including there was one developer that said, we were able to get our game out because we showed the government, this is a Belgian company, we showed the Belgian government that this is a type of game that people play, and they gave us funding to help us develop our game. So he upgraded the algorithm and did a couple other things. So Steam Spy kind of lives, it's just the data is not going to be as accurate.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, with all the misuse of information that's going out there, like when you have like companies that are just collecting like mass amounts of data, I can understand why somebody would want to reel back on its accessibility, I should say. So I'm not mad at this. It's good that they'll still be able to benefit the ones that were able to benefit from them and not exploit people that, you know, may or could have been exploited. So this is nothing but a good thing in my book. It's just way too much information going out there, way too much stuff being collected about people. And if Facebook is an indication, or the Facebook situation is any indication that we need to protect our information, like, yeah, I think you muted yourself.
Oops,
there
sorry.
we go. No problem.
Facebook is the least of our worries. If you think Facebook is grabbing a lot of stuff on you, you just take a look at what Google and Amazon.
Yeah, they know. They know a lot.
They've got a lot more.
Yeah, that's crazy. Luckily, I trust Amazon. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Anyway, this is not sponsored, so I'm not worried about losing any brand deals. So we're good. But yeah, if you guys ever come across anything that we leave out of a story, or any mistakes, or we missay anything, let us know. Hit us up on Twitter. All of our information is right underneath Boogie, so you can take a look at that, and we can make those corrections in the very next episode. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the show and start things off. I'm gonna try really hard not to sound ridiculous. My voice is just all over the place right now, so let's go.
That tea and honey, baby. That tea and honey.
Yeah, I got some lemon drops. I've been freaking chomping on those. So hopefully this goes away sooner or later. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into our weekly icebreaker. If you are new here, you don't know what that is. It's just a question that we like to ask between the two of us to get a sense of where we are on certain gaming related topics. Sometimes we go off the cuff. We like to talk about movies, but we won't be talking about Infinity War today because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, no spoilers.
I will tell the community, my 7-year-old told me that at the end of the movie that she was pissed off. That gives you an indication of where that movie went.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
exact words, pissed off.
That's funny. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the weekly icebreaker. This week's question comes from Boogie. Did you come up with this, or did we get this offline? Okay, so go ahead and present it. What you got for us?
Okay, with God of War 4 just released, what is the next major release you're looking forward to? I'm gonna let you go. Yeah,
there's a couple of games that I'm actually looking forward to. Some that I'm just like waiting to see more information on, and ones that I'm definitely gonna buy. Spider-Man is definitely one I'm gonna buy.
Absolutely.
Like hands down, I'm going to purchase that day one. I'm gonna pre-order it. I just haven't done it yet. I'm thinking about getting the digital deluxe version, but yeah. That's a definite must buy for me. There's some other games that are coming out like fairly soon. Mm-hmm. Like we were just talking about offline. We were talking about State of Decay 2.
Yep.
We're gonna be talking about that a little bit more in the show, but that's coming out very soon, and I'm really interested in that game. The first one was pretty entertaining. It was fun, and I did like what I saw of the trailer we saw a little while back. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a good game. And it's like one of the 3 exclusives for Microsoft. So yeah. I feel like if I skipped out on Sea of Thieves, so I don't think I could call myself an Xbot anymore if I don't play State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3, if that thing even still exists.
Oh,
but
it better.
Man, you never know these days. But yeah, I think those are a couple of games I'm looking forward to. Of course, ones that have been delayed, like Red Dead Redemption 2, that was delayed. So it's not like on my mind right now. Mm-hmm. But for the very near future, State of Decay 2 looks dope. Spider-Man is a definite must buy. What about you?
Yeah, I'm close. I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I mean, there's nothing I just looked down right before the show just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing coming out within the next month or two that I really have my eyes on. State of Decay 2, I'm kind of interested in it, and I'll play it because I am a Game Pass subscriber, so I will play that for sure, just to see if I like it or not. Detroit Real Human, or whatever the hell
Become Human,
is. Yeah. The demo is out, and like I said before, I should download it, but I probably won't because I'm not really interested in it. But
awesome concept, but just like not the game for me, you know?
Right. The next game that's coming out in the near future that I really am interested in is Lumens, and that's going to be, it's coming on all 3 systems, but I'm going to get it for the Switch because that is a nice game to be able to walk around and play.
You want to support Nintendo? I see you.
No, I just want to be able to play Lumens like laying on my couch or laying up in the bed or something like that. It's a nice portable game. I had the original one on PSP, and it's really a good game. It works portably. Okay, for sure.
Cool.
But the next big release, I think it's probably Spider-Man.
That thing is looking good.
Yeah. And I did, me personally, I ordered the deluxe digital edition, and I'm glad I did because that Spider-Man suit, the metal Spider-Man suit, it's in the movie.
Yeah,
it's badass. Oh. I want it. It's good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see the movie, and I can't wait to play Spider-Man. Those are 2 things. Marvel's just doing it up. All Marvel needs to do right now is up their fucking animation department because their cartoons are garbage.
DC's got them killed on that.
Yeah, DC has
the Batman. What's it called? The Batman Ninja.
Oh, I haven't watched Batman Ninja yet, but the week before last, I did watch the Oh God, the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
That one's pretty good, man.
The anime, right?
Yeah, the animation movie. Yeah, no, that live action. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
I still haven't seen Justice League yet.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not missing much.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's one of those movies that I'll end up watching. Just like I have to have absolutely nothing to do, caught up on my entire backlog, and then maybe I'll watch some Justice League. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, the Batman Ninja is pretty good. DC kills it with their animation stuff. They just are horrible with their live action, and Marvel's the exact opposite. The animation stuff isn't horrible, but it's
bad compared to what they had before Disney took over.
It's really bland. If you ask me, everything they seem to do is like super safe now, and it seems like they try to keep it along the lines of the MCU, which I don't like either.
Yeah, because then you don't get to see superheroes like X-Men and Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
But yeah, they're killing it in theaters. Apparently, Marvel, the Avengers Infinity War is like the largest open. It's going to beat Star Wars, is what they're claiming. So we'll see. But it's a good movie. Don't let my daughter's anger deter you, because
don't let her review her. Yeah. Hey man, she's a good movie critic, man.
But she enjoyed the movie.
Okay,
she just was pissed off about some of the things that happened in the movie.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it. So I'm going tomorrow. But yeah, that was our weekly icebreaker. If you have any questions that you would like to submit to us, you can always do so by hitting us up on our social media. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Facebook, leave comments down in the comment section on YouTube. Let us know what you think, reach out to us. And if you ask us any questions, we'll take them and then we'll use them either in this section or in our live Q&A section, which is going to be going down later on in the show if we get enough questions asked of our live audience. We are streaming live across multiple platforms using the Restream.io. So yeah, ask us questions, use the hashtag ask AWGNS, and pick our brains, and we can answer some pretty cool questions for you. I sound really stupid. To myself, I sound weird. It's like I'm listening to myself talk and I'm like, who is this guy? But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the actual news. We're going to start things with our quick hits. These are short little lightning round style quick stories that don't necessarily deserve a deep dive, but they are stories that went down over the last week, so that we do want to talk to you about them. And first up, First up, we have my homeboy Sonic is in the news, and it's not Sonic Forces, so I'm really happy. Sonic Mania Plus, I guess expansion or DLC for Sonic Mania will be coming out. It has been given a release date. It's going to be coming out. What's the date?
July 18th, is it?
July 18th. Yes, it's going to be coming out July 18th. And in addition to new features, it's going to be adding in 2 additional characters, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, 2 characters that have not been seen in the Sonic universe in over a decade. Yeah, a couple of decades.
1990, I want to say they noted 1993.
I think the last time we saw Mighty was in Knuckles Chaotix. That was a Sega 32X game. I want to say that was like 95, 96, maybe.
That's cool. I enjoy that they're supporting the game. This was the Sonic game of the year last year.
Sonic game of the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's really to stay really true to Sonic. The fast play, the level busting, and it is good. And I like that you have the multiple characters. And I like that these characters are actually fairly obscure characters. If you're not a real Sonic fan, you probably wouldn't have known about these guys. And I like that they're bringing them forward. It's really cool.
And it's crazy because this isn't even Ray the Flying Squirrel's first game. A lot of people may recognize Mighty from Chaotix, but Ray the Flying Squirrel was actually in a Sonic game along with Sonic in an arcade title. It was called Sega Sonic Arcade. And it was like one of those trackball games where you have to like bowl the little trackball, and that's how you move the character. So bringing back some classic characters. They've been teased, for years. Back in Generations, they had like the little like missing posters and all that. So it's really cool to see these guys come back. And some of the new features that they're adding is a 4-player mode, which allows you to do the competition with up to 4 people. I want this to be online, but I don't. It hasn't been stated whether or not it is or isn't, but I'm gonna. No. I don't think that it will be. It will be so crazy if they put the competition mode online, but I don't think it's actually gonna happen. But it's really cool. And then they actually have an expansion to the story mode. So if you go through the story again, you get what's called the Encore mode. The Encore mode, yeah. And it changes up the story a little bit and adds like a day and night feature to the actual zones. Yeah. So like in the first level, you'll be playing in the day, and then it'll like progressively like go to nighttime, like dawn, evening, noon, night, whatever. So it's really cool. I can't wait. If you already own the game, to upgrade to the plus version is going to be $4.99, $5. Yep. But you can actually go out and buy the full experience in retail or like online for $30, so $29.99. So an awesome deal, an awesome game. If you haven't already played it, I'll be purchasing the retail version because I want that case. It looks really cool.
Yeah, the case. Yeah.
And then the actual cover art you can switch, and it looks like a Genesis cover. So I'm gonna be getting that. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Now, what system?
Well, right now my current one is on PlayStation 4, so I think I'm going to get it on Xbox One.
Okay.
Just so I can like go through, get the achievements and stuff like that. I might end up buying it again on PC though, just so because the mods. I've been missing out on so many mods on Mania, and I want to start getting into that. I actually played a Sonic fan game on my personal Twitch channel the day before yesterday, and it was really cool. Like I had been Sonic'd out for a while, so now it's time for me to get back in, and I can't wait. This will be the perfect opportunity. So this comes out really soon. So yeah, I can't wait. Cool. Let's go ahead and move on. We got some more quick hits for you. What we got next?
We got Fortnite. So Fortnite, as we all know, has taken the battle royale
by storm.
Right? They kind of moved PUBG to the second spot. And with that said, Fortnite is actually not in China yet, and that's changing because, as reported by Do News, I'm gonna say Do because it's a Chinese company.
Do News.
Yeah. What's the company? Tencent is bringing Fortnite to China. They're investing $15 million or 100 million yuan, in part to combat piracy, in part to market the game, and lastly to establish a esports league for Fortnite in China. So yeah, they're bringing Fortnite to China. So all the Chinese players will now have access to the game. What's interesting about this is Tencent also partnered with Bluehole, and they're the ones that brought PUBG to China as well.
Oh wow!
PC and mobile. So ostensibly, Tencent has the monopoly on
the battle royale games in China. Yeah,
in China, exactly. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Seems like a conflict of interest if you ask me, but I don't know. It's like
there's no such thing in China.
I guess not.
All of the companies, most of all the companies are the government has their hand in it.
Oh well, yeah, true that. I mean, just think about like China, the like Nintendo situation. That's a pretty complex situation right there as well. Right.
So yeah, so Fortnite is going to be in China. Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, that's the story. Moving on. What we got next?
Valve made a purchase. They bought Campo Santo. If you're unfamiliar with Campo Santo, they released and are the developers of
Firewatch, right?
Firewatch, that's it. Firewatch. Yeah. So they brought this company, Campo Santo, and all of their employees are going to be relocated to Bellevue, Washington, where Valve's headquarters are. And they actually will continue to work, continue to support Firewatch, and they're going to continue to work on their new game, which is called Valley of God, in the Valley of Gods, I should say. So they're going to be able to work on their upcoming game. They're going to continue to support Firewatch. They're just going to be bringing that stuff underneath Valve. Now, we talked about Valve a couple of weeks ago where Gabe said that they want to start making games again. So this is a step in that particular direction, I would think.
Yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't seem likely that anybody that's still working at Valve is developing games anymore, because Valve's structure has like completely changed. So it seems logical that they would go on a purchasing spree, grab up some developers, grab up some IPs, and then just publish those. So it just makes sense to me. I didn't think that Valve was just gonna, we're making games again, and then like, oh, here's like freaking Half-Life 3. Like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Right. Like, they don't have the staff.
They don't have the same. Yeah, a lot of those people are gone.
Yeah, a lot of those. That's what I was going to say. I bet a lot of those developers, especially a lot of the talented ones, moved on when they realized they weren't working on games.
Yeah. A lot of the writers are have like moved on. So this is just a logical step. It makes perfect business sense. And Firewatch actually garnered quite a following. A lot of people were very impressed by the game, and a lot of people are looking forward to their new game.
Right.
So look out for the Valve treatment, because when Valve does do a game, they kind of like roll out the red carpet for it,
Yeah, they did. That's why everybody wants more of their games. When you look at Left 4 Dead and Portal and Team Fortress and Half-Life, and all those games are all classics, but they're classics for reasons, because Valve goes all in on their games with the initial release, the support, and all the other stuff they do with their games. So yeah.
And it'll be really cool to see a studio like Campo Santo get like, this like support and backing from a major company and studio. So so this is good news all around. I wish everybody at Campo Santo good luck. I wish there were more stories like this where, like, instead of like, shutting down studios, they're gonna get to keep their moniker and everything. They'll just be a subsidiary. So this is good. I like this.
Or buying them to make them work on Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, oh, God. Speaking of Call of Duty, did we even talk about the fact? Oh, we did. We talked about that last week, didn't we?
The single player only. No single player in.
No single player in
Black Ops 4
and Black Ops.
And then we talked about the model. We don't need to talk about that nonsense.
Fucking crazy. But yeah, those are our quick hits. Like everything else on this show, we want your feedback. We want you to get involved with the conversation. So if there's any stories that you would like for us to cover, or just give our opinions on that, it could be old or new stories. If you just want our opinion, it can be added to the quick hits section. So let us know what you want us to talk about, and we'll add that to the show for you. But now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of this here podcast, because we're going to start talking about the top 5 news stories for the week. But before I do that, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. So let's go ahead and do that as soon as I can freaking type. Jesus Christ. Bam. Top 5 news stories. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over to the other screen, and I want to give a shout out to our sponsor really quickly. Okay, so, and it's not showing up. Awesome. What happened? Oh. Give me a sec.
There it is. Nope, that's not it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it right here. Go to newchallenger.gg if you want to get good at your favorite fighting game. They support Street Fighter V, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite in a very limited capacity, that is, and of course Dragon Ball FighterZ, with way more games coming down the line, like the freaking BlazBlue Cross Tag battle, Cross Tag or whatever. They also going to be supporting Soul Calibur. They also support Tekken 7. So if you want to get good at any of those games, go to newchallenger.gg. Let them know that True Sonic sent you. Do not let them know that I didn't show the splash screen, because that was very embarrassing for me. And yeah, thanks to those guys out there. Mr. Vinegar, you are the MVP. And of course, thanks to our good friend Mount Lover, who is a coach, commentator. He runs the New Challenger Z League, which is their Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament series. It just wrapped up its first season not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, and they're going to be starting up season 2 very soon, so look out for that. And yeah, Go check them out. So with that said, and my dignity shattered, let's go ahead and jump into the top 5 news stories. First up, we have a fan favorite of mine, because I like free stuff. I don't know about you, but free stuff is always a plus in my book. And speaking of plus, we have the free games for PlayStation Plus for the month of May. They have been announced. So let's talk about them. What we got first?
We got Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. This was made by that same studio. Like, what's that studio? I forgot what they're called. But they made like didn't they make like Heavy Rain and all that?
Yeah. Quantic Dream. Did they make Heavy Rain?
I think so. They make like all of those like really like cinematic games. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Fahrenheit, Heavy Rain, and they did Detroit.
Yeah, and the upcoming Detroit Become Human, they did that game as well. Yeah. So I've always been super interested in Beyond Two Souls. So I might download this and give it a try just to see how I like it. The second game that we have up on the PS4 side is a favorite of mine's, and that's Rayman Legends. If you are even remotely into platformers, this is a must download.
Yeah, must have. Absolutely.
Rayman Legends and an extension, Rayman Origins, are probably some of the best platformers that I have ever played. And that's coming from somebody that grew up playing Sonic, Mario, and all the such. So two very, very good games for PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation 4 side. If you have any of the other PlayStation consoles, you can also get some free games on PlayStation 3. What's on PlayStation 3?
PlayStation 3 is Risen 3 Titan Lords, or Rising 3 Titan Lords, and then Eat Them.
Okay.
And then for the PlayStation Vita, you have King Oddball and Furmins. And King Oddball is a cross-buy game, so it's playable on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4, I should say. But those are your 6 games for PlayStation Plus this month. There was no mention of any VR titles added, or no mentions of any of the add-on packs for any of the free-to-play games.
Okay. Yeah, so it's safe to say that the ones that they had from the previous month are just still there.
Yeah, I think they had expiration dates, but I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
I know they were only last. I know one of them definitely expired in May. In April, within the past couple of weeks. But I'm not sure which one it was. But they all had expiration dates. It was like from February, whatever date it was, till April, whatever date, and then one of them is until May.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like when they put out these press releases, it's just a single page blog post nowadays. Like they used to have like the whole like video and cinematics, and
they used to be more into it.
Yeah, it really seems like they are I don't know, at least trying, or they're just like scaling down on the PlayStation Plus announcements. Like, they're not really trying to hype this stuff up anymore. That's just how I'm looking at it, and we look at this stuff every week, and it just seems like they're just scaling down on how they present their free games to you.
Right. It looks like they're trying to take I don't know. I don't understand it either, because to be fair, both the Xbox One, Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus, they ebb and flow. Sometimes they're great, and then they have this little low period, and then they get good again. And it's not like these games that they're giving away this month are bad games. These are actually two pretty good, at least critically acclaimed games.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they're just not talking about it. They don't. It seems like like you said, they just scaled down.
Yeah, they're just scaling down on how they present it. Every month you got Major Nelson like making videos talking about the games, talking about, like giving you the synopsis and whatnot, and advertising the fact like the Xbox 360 games are playable on Xbox One. Like, I think that there's still people that have PS4s that don't know how to get the PS Vita games on their PS4.
Right.
Like I haven't even been bothered to try it out. I know how to do it because we've talked about it extensively, but like I haven't even been bothered to try it out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just how I feel about the story or about the situation. But I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're burying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they already said that they're going to be stopping it on the Vita and
play
and
next
the
year.
PS and the PS3 next year. So
What, next April, right, or next March?
yeah, something
Next
like
March, I
that.
think it is.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And speaking of Microsoft, we brought them up briefly. We have a bunch of other stories with Microsoft. So let's just go ahead and jump into our Xbox Power Hour here.
The Xbox Power, I like that.
The Xbox Power Hour, because we got about 4 stories involving good old Microsoft. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one. What we got first?
The first one is regarding a PC mod. It's called El Dorado, and basically it is Halo, the original Halo on PC. And you might be thinking, but wait a minute, when did Halo come out on PC? Never. It never came out on PC.
Which is weird, because I played Halo on PC like back in the day, like way back in the day.
Yeah, that probably was a mod. It might have been based on this.
Probably.
But basically what this mod is, apparently Microsoft was working on a Halo Online for PC for the Russian market, and it got out to a private beta, and that's the furthest it got to, and then they canceled it. And obviously, if it's been out on a PC where the public can get it, the public got it.
Yeah, we got it.
And these group of developers basically developed Halo for PC using those particular assets and that engine. And Microsoft recently came out, and it's been up for years. It's not like they just put it up. It's been up for years. And Microsoft just came out and said, hey, look, stop it.
Cease and desist, my boys.
Cease and desist. Stop it. These are our assets. You don't have permission to use it. You need to take it down. Is basically what they've come out and said. Yeah. So
and it's cool, and it's crazy because they actually implemented a pseudo like Forge mode where you can like build your own maps and everything. Similar to like the more recent games, but with like the older like models and textures and stuff like that.
Right. And it seems like Microsoft may be readying their own release. I think that's why they did it. It's because they're going to release some type of PC version of Halo, maybe a Halo collection, maybe it's just going to be regular Halo. I don't know. But it seems like, and even in one of the statements, they seem to 343 Studios, or what's it, 343 Industries, what they're called. They kind of hinted at PC version of Halo coming. Yeah. So when I see something like this, where for years they didn't have a problem with it, then all of a sudden it's a problem, I think it's because they're now looking to monetize it.
Yeah, they're gearing up to release something. I mean, and it could be Halo 6. Halo 6 could come in tandem with a PC release, similar to how their last major shooter, Gears of War.
Yeah, because they
came out on PC.
Yeah, because they do the Play Anywhere deal now.
Exactly. So this could be another game that takes advantage of that. I honestly think that's not a bad idea at all.
No. I don't have a problem with it. Like I've always said, I've said it before and I will keep saying it. If it's not your IP, if it's not your property, this is what happens. Yeah. And it is people like, oh, they did it rude. No, they did it. They say, hey, look, stop. They could have easily just sued. Yeah. So they give you a chance to say, hey, look, we know what you're doing. Stop it, please. And that's it.
That's it.
That's fine. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. We got a couple more Xbox stories. What's the next one?
So I found this one super interesting. Everybody knows Discord. If you're a PC player, you don't use Discord, you're doing it wrong.
I mean, if you're a Switch player and you don't have Discord, like,
well, if you're a gamer, if you're a gamer in general, because my Destiny clan, they exclusively use Discord for everything.
I'm saying if you play on the Switch, like, you better have Discord. That's the only way you gotta have. How you talking to your friends, man?
Yeah, exactly.
What y'all doing? Talking on that phone app? Hell no.
So, and this is actually out, and that's something I needed to do. I got a little bit busy, but it's out for Xbox Insider. So if you're in the alpha build ring, it's out now, and I do have it. I checked it. I just didn't do anything with it. But you can link your Xbox Live account to Discord, and now once you do that, you can talk to people in Discord across all platforms. That's, anybody in Discord.
All right, that. Okay. All right, we're back.
All right, cool. Yeah. So basically, it's taken Xbox Live and integrated with Discord and vice versa. And
Yeah.
I don't see the more communication, the better communication. The more communication options you have, the better.
Yeah, and I mean the Microsoft app or the Xbox app isn't bad. Like that thing isn't bad as a communication tool. I remember for a while when I was playing with people on Xbox Live, like I would be on the Xbox app so that like I can hear them on the other side. It was like before they had an update that allowed for you to like play through both your speakers and your headphones. Remember that? Yeah, so back then I was using the Xbox app, and then they added the feature, so like I didn't need it anymore. But yeah, man, like this is cool. I mean, Discord is a powerful tool. We use it all the time. So this is awesome, you know, to be able to integrate those two like groups of people. Like this, dude, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on my Xbox friends list that just like don't even know I'm alive anymore. I haven't touched my Xbox in so long.
The Twitch stream is not back up, by the way.
It says that I'm live. Let me
go back. Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope, there it is.
We back up?
Yeah, it's there. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, just to close this story off, this is a good thing. It'll allow me to reconnect with some of the Xbox party or Xbox friend list people that I just like neglected over the months because I haven't been on my Xbox that often.
Right, and what's cool is once you link your account, you can see, like, as long as they are also, again, your friends have to do it too. But if your friends have linked their accounts and turned on the option, you can see what they're playing. You can jump into their games. You can invite them to games. You can invite them to chat, and vice versa. If you turn on the option for people to see you if you're on Xbox and you're playing Sea of Thieves, you're playing Sonic Mania, you're playing Far Cry 5, people can see that and join you. That's kind of awesome.
That's pretty awesome, and I find it really interesting that this isn't a thing that PlayStation is doing as well. This is just like an Xbox thing for right now.
Right now it's Xbox.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Listen, let me tell you something about the PlayStation and Xbox. As much as people swear up and down that PlayStation is the system, if PlayStation has the games,
definitely
Xbox is the better system. As far as all of the features available to Xbox.
Okay, yeah.
All of the features available to the Xbox, and currently the power, when you look at the Xbox One X versus the Pro, Xbox has it hands down. They need games, and
they need games, man.
They need to get back. They need to get the minds of the people back.
Yeah, definitely. Couple more stories. Next up on the list, the marketing chief for Xbox has stepped down. What's going on there?
Yeah, so apparently the marketing chief, his name is Albert Pinello. It's two L's.
I'm not even going to try.
I'm not sure if he's Hispanic. If he's Hispanic, it's Pinello. If he's not Hispanic, it's Pinello, right?
He doesn't look Hispanic at all.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving. So I'm gonna say both.
Very true.
And,
Continue.
Albert, Albert Pujols, Albert Pinello.
Hey,
I guess. Anyway, he stepped down from being the marketing chief for Xbox. He's been at Microsoft for 18 years. It doesn't say how long he's been the marketing chief, but he's been the marketing chief since Xbox first launched. So if Xbox has been on 18 years, he's been the marketing chief for 18 years. Yep. He's the one that has everybody know. He's the one that's got everybody to know what an Xbox is, what a Microsoft Xbox is. I would give him, me personally, I give him a mixed grade. We talked about this before we went live. Yes, everybody knows what Microsoft is because of him. But his marketing message on the Xbox One is
it fell flat.
Yeah, definitely fell flat. He did kind of turn it around after, and it's not all his fault. He's got to work with you got to work
team,
with what you have, right? But I think he could have put out a better message.
Yeah,
that got people more behind what they were trying to do.
Right. Yeah, and we haven't actually brought up the topic of like Xbox's like presence in the gaming in a long time. I mean, it was a topic that we would, it was a reoccurring topic we would always talk about.
Mhm.
But that announcement, man, like cemented the Xbox One as a clear number 2 in the console war. Like
Right.
before it even launched, like the announcement
Yep.
and the price point just cemented it as a number 2.
Yep.
And like that's bad. Like I don't, and like the Xbox One is doing fine. It's doing fine. They have the backwards compatibility. They're bringing original Xbox games to the Xbox One with enhancements, which is awesome. They're enhancing 360 games. They have like a few exclusive. They have Game Pass, which is an okay service. So they're doing just fine, but they never really recovered from that L that they took at its inception. Like, here's the Xbox One, and then everybody just handed them an L promptly, and they never really fully recovered from that.
Right.
So while the OG Xbox and the 360, the message was clear, especially with the 360, because I would go as far to say that they were the clear winner of that console generation. The Xbox One just was not received well. Till this day, I get depressed when I see those launch day pictures from Japan.
They sold like 2, right?
Yeah, they sold like 2. I was like, Jesus. Yeah, so.
But that was always Japanese are immensely loyal to their
still that shit was depressing, dude.
The Xbox 360 didn't do well in Japan either.
But it did better than the Xbox One, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so him stepping down, there's no clear indication as who's going to replace him, and there's no clear indication what he's going to do next. Before he worked at Xbox, he worked at EA for 6 years, and he was publisher and products and marketing manager over there. Yeah. So, marketing genius in some areas, not so much in others. My perception of the Xbox, the reason I'm an Xbot is because of this guy. So it'll be super interesting to see where or how Xbox presents itself in the future, post, Albert Pinello.
Yeah, and Phil Spencer is bullish on what they have coming down the road. They just haven't said anything because they're trying to keep a tight lid on it coming up to E3, which is less than 2 months away now, or just about 2 months away. So
about to get busy over here.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking for those leaks and find out what they got coming.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on. We got one more Xbox story for you. The new games that are coming to Xbox Game Pass have been announced. So let's go over them really quickly.
Right. And we normally don't do this because they add and remove games every month, and we rarely do it. But the reason I wanted to bring it up this month is because there's a brand new Xbox, or Microsoft exclusive, coming out in May 22nd, I believe it is. State of Decay 2 is coming out. And as previously announced, all of the new exclusive Xbox games, console exclusive games, will be available on Game Pass. And yes, State of Decay 2 will be available to play if you are a Game Pass subscriber. So if you subscribe to Game Pass, State of Decay 2, when it comes out on May 22nd, you will be able to put your hands on that game at no additional cost. And now, again, it's a $10 a month service. If you're not a subscriber, you're paying $60 for the game.
Yep.
I do subscribe. I started subscribing when Sea of Thieves came out. And believe it or not, I played more Pac-Man than I played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Because Pac-Man that's the shit.
Pac-Man, champion, CE2?
Yep.
That's my jam.
Yep.
That is my jam.
Yes, I played more Pac-Man than Sea of Thieves, to be fair, but I was never really that interested in Sea of Thieves.
I wanted it to be good just because it was rare and it was a new IP and it was pirates. But then I heard it was not as good as it could have been.
It's good if you play with friends. It's just not. I couldn't. It's not my type of game. Is what I would say to it.
Okay.
So I can't really give a fair review or analysis to it because it's not something I would normally play because I'm not interested in stuff like that. So for me to say it's a bad game, it's kind of slanted.
I don't know. Well, it just got unfavorable reviews. I just said, let's say that.
Yeah.
Like okay to like negative. It
Right.
it didn't blow anybody away, unfortunately.
Yeah. So State of Decay 2 is coming out, and then there's also a couple other games actually. Sonic and Knuckles. If you're a Sonic fan, Sonic and Knuckles is coming to Game Pass. Overcooked is coming to Game Pass.
Overcooked is so fun.
Homefront: The Revolution, which was the most recent game in that particular genre and in that particular IP, and then Pro Evo Soccer 2018. We talked about them because they're losing their Champions League license, but it is in the 2018 game. And if you're a soccer fan and you don't have FIFA or you want to try something outside of FIFA, Pro Evo is actually a pretty good soccer game. And this is the most recent release. This one is actually only going. They put an end date. It's available starting May 1st, and it will stop being available on August 31st.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty interesting lineup. I believe the Sonic and Knuckles that they have here, that's going to be available is the 360 arcade version. I think it was a part of the Sega Vintage collection of games. So if you have Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, you can use the patented lock-on technology to add Knuckles to those respective games.
That's cool.
So it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, those are all of our Microsoft stories. That was a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and transition because now we're jumping ship. We talked about Sony for a little bit. We talked about Microsoft for a lot of bit, and now it's time to jump into our Nintendo Power Hour because we got a couple of Nintendo stories that we need to bring up. Yep. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with that. What's going on with Nintendo?
So Nintendo stories are a mixed bag. So the first story is not something Nintendo wants anybody to know. They're not proud of this. So basically, everybody's Nintendo Switch has 2 unpatchable exploits. Is now the good thing is not necessarily a security risk to Switch owners, but the exploits will allow hackers to run homebrew and pirated games on their Nintendo Switch and allow them to cheat at some online games. So that's what's going to affect the community more than anything is the fact that there'll be people using modded consoles to cheat at Splatoon. Is that the only online game?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart, and I guess Smash when that comes out. Yeah, it's a fighting game. You're going to see people cheating. That's just inevitable. But yeah, that's a huge problem. It has something to do with being able to bypass the boot ROM, and as the boot ROM cannot be updated. It's purposely made so it can't be updated. So the only way you can get this patched is basically a new hardware revision. So if you have a Nintendo Switch now, you will never get a patch. You have to sell it to GameStop and buy another one. So you sell it to GameStop for $30 and give them another $260 for another Switch if you're looking for a patch at this point.
Oh God. Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. And that actually goes back to what we've been saying about the Switch since the beginning, is that it just launched a little too early. They should have left that thing in the oven for a couple more months, to get a lot of the kinks out of it, but to also add features that are the, standard in every other console in the last like 3 generations.
Right.
Or at least 2 generations. But, this is bad news. And I'm very curious as to how Nintendo is going to respond to this. There hasn't been any official statement from Nintendo regarding this, at least none that we have seen at the time of this podcast.
Yeah, Nintendo has been mum. The exploit was released on the 25th. So apparently there were 2 different ones, and one of them, and I want to say it's the one that was the fail overflow. What's it?
That's the hacker.
Yeah, that's the hacker. It's Shoff EL2. That was the first one that was released, and then the second one, Fusey, they re-released it. So basically, when a hacker finds something, there's a 90-day review period. They release it, they send it to the companies, give them 90 days before they announce it publicly. But because one was released, the second one was released right after. It's like, okay, so because it works in a similar manner.
Yeah.
The two flaws, one is Shaf EL2 and the other one is Geely or Geely. So yeah, I think the biggest issue with Nintendo and this is the fact that you'll be able to run homebrew and pirated software. That's what Nintendo's really upset at. They don't care about the online because online and Nintendo Switch is nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty restricted.
Right.
But yeah, this is crazy because I remember there was a story we talked about a little while ago where Nintendo was actually seeking to hire hackers to essentially hack their stuff, you know, in order to prevent other people from, you know, figuring it out and, you know, dumping all the info or intel or whatever. But yeah, man, Nintendo has been notoriously freaking lax when it comes to their console security. Because like I had a modded Wii, I could have easily modded I can still mod my Wii U, you know, soft. I don't even have to do a hard mod. I can do a soft mod and, you know, get all types of like things that I wanted if I chose to do that. And, you know, it was only a matter of time, but like the magnitude of this hack is crazy.
Is the biggest problem is that it can't be fixed easily. It cannot easily be fixed. And I think Nintendo does have I know they have a bug bounty program. I know they had it for the 3DS and I think the Wii.
The Wii U, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they had it for the Switch. Yeah, they do have it for the Switch. Yeah,
I was about to say.
They expanded it last year, and it's between $100 and $20,000 you can get for reporting a bug to Nintendo. So yeah, they do have a bug bounty program, but still, now this is out there. So, you know, there's going to be homebrew stuff out there. And like I said, the biggest issue for Nintendo is piracy.
Yeah. Yeah, because when people are not paying for Nintendo stuff, getting that stuff for free, no, that's a no-go. Nintendo don't like that. They want all your money.
Absolutely.
Full price for 4-year-old games now. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. Nintendo's current president, who took over after Satoru Iwata passed away, is now retiring, or at least stepping down from the president role.
Yeah, no, he said he's retiring effective
in June. I thought that he was going to stay around as an advisor.
Yeah, maybe for a little while during the transition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's stepping down and then will be retiring. This is rare and this is strange because most Nintendo presidents don't step down until they're like about to peace out.
The thing is, he was already old. I think he's like in his 70s or close to 6. He's 68.
68, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was always going to be temporary.
So he kind of just like stepped into the role after Satoru Iwata.
After Iwata passed, until they found a permanent position, and I think that's what happened here. So he held on to the position until Nintendo decided who the successor to Iwata was actually the permanent successor to Iwata was going to be, and now they found it. So he's gonna step down, and the new guy is Shuntaro Furukawa. He's like a 46. He's a young guy. He's 46. Young guy. Yeah. Close to the age that Iwata was when he first took over. Iwata was 43. So I mean, it makes sense when you look at it that way. Yes. Yeah. Nintendo's presidents, they stay on. It's like till death do us part type thing. Right?
Yeah.
But he's
married to the game, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. But Kimishima was always a temporary. He was like a stopgap or a bridge, not necessarily a stopgap, a bridge to the new president once Nintendo decided who that was going to be.
Okay.
And the new guy Furukawa, he's been with Nintendo for what did they say, like
94?
Yeah, 94, right? So like 20, almost over 20 years. So he's definitely knows the company. He's been with the company and probably has a good idea of where the company wants to go and where he wants to take the company.
Yeah, I think previously he worked with the Pokemon company I think he was in charge over there.
Yeah, he has two positions. Yeah, he was an executive director there, or a managing director there, and he does outside director, and he's the managing executive officer in for Nintendo. So
yeah. So he's up there with with the top executive. So it makes sense for them to bring him over. He'll probably be in this position for quite some time.
Yep.
And it's that same the way that it was presented in the article. It's the same kind of like young energy. You bring in like a young guy with fresh and new ideas, the same way that they did with Iwata, and you can probably say that the Iwata presidential years were probably some of the biggest years for Nintendo. They had the massive success that was the Wii. Mm-hmm. They dominated the handheld market with the DS line of handheld consoles. Got the PSP and the Vita the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They strive to innovate, and they came out with some really good products and some really good first party titles.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get some kind of new energy going on at the executive level over at Nintendo, because right now, for me at least, I'm feeling a little hesitant towards Nintendo right now. The way that they've been going about themselves since the release of the Switch, well, pretty much since the announcement that the Wii U was dead. I haven't really been happy with Nintendo, so hopefully they can turn that around. I'm gonna need to see some good graces, when it comes to Nintendo, especially for the OG fanboys. I would consider myself a Nintendo fanboy because I've owned all of the consoles, but like lately with the Wii U crash and burn, and the Switch just not really playing towards
the exploitation the consumer.
I haven't really been feeling it. So hopefully this will be a step in a brighter direction. I wish the guy stepping down, I wish him all the luck in the world, and the guy that's taking over, good luck. That's about it. So we have one more Nintendo story. Let's go ahead and jump into it. What?
And this is really interesting. So Nintendo has announced another mobile game.
Yay! Because we're so happy with those, right?
Yeah, but the reason I bring this up is this is a new IP.
Ooh.
It's called Dragalia.
Dragalia Lost.
Lost. Yeah, and it looks like it's a standard JRPG type game, like cutesy character. Looks like a real-time action fighting JRPG. They co-develop it with a Japanese developer called Cygames, which Nintendo owns a stake in.
Okay.
There's not much else that's been said about this. I don't even think there's a release date on it. But it's supposed to be coming this summer. Is unknown if there's going to be microtransactions. It's unknown if it's going to go the Mario Run model, or if it's going to be not Fire Emblems, but the other one we talked about last week, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yeah.
If it's going to go microtransactions that way or loot boxes, that's unknown. It's just a new IP, and it's surprising to me that they're releasing a new mobile IP and the Switch is not involved.
Yeah. I think this might be a first for Nintendo to release a brand new IP not on a Nintendo console.
Right.
So this is very, very out of the norm when it comes to Nintendo. But there's not much more to say about the game because all they released was the announcement trailer. Right. So no date, nothing like that.
Yeah, they didn't even announce the regional locations. We don't know if it's Japanese only, or if it's going to hit the rest of the world, or if it's or what. It's just Dragalia Lost on
coming
mobile,
this summer.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll have to look out for that because The gameplay, I mean, it looks like it could be fun. I mean, fun little like JRPG on your phone. Like, that doesn't sound bad at all.
No.
But how are they going to implement it? Like, how are they planning to make money out of it? Is it going to be like a steep entry fee like Mario Run? Is it going to have microtransactions, loot boxes? We don't know yet. So we'll keep our ears close, our eyes and ears close to this one, and let you know if we find anything new. But that's enough Nintendo news. Let's go ahead and jump into the next story that we have. And this has to do with PUBG. Because we can't get away from talking about freaking Battle Royale games. So let's go ahead and jump into the next story. What we got?
This is a really interesting story. So PUBG, obviously everybody knows PUBG's had an issue with piracy and cheaters. And during their anti-cheat efforts, PUBG, and this actually is in China, 15 people were arrested.
Woo!
For suspected computer crimes. Now, these guys, these people, I mean, the only two that were in English is one called OMG and one called FL. The rest are in Chinese characters. I can't read it. Can you? I don't.
No.
Okay. But
I can put it into Google Translate and maybe get something out of it. I don't know.
But basically, the suspects that were arrested were fined $5.1 million or 30 million RMB. And I know what that is. Oh my
goodness!
I can't think of what it's called now. But what happened is, on top of pushing the PUBG exploits, they were pushing backdoors and Trojans. So they were taking over with these exploits. They were installing backdoors and Trojans on the people's PCs and basically building out a botnet. And that is where they ran up into the authorities, and that's where they ran into the legal issues. It's funny that they were caught because of PUBG's anti-piracy, anti-cheat efforts.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's wild. We've been talking about the implementation of these anti-cheat efforts and hoping that they would, crack down on some of these like serious cheaters. Right. And it looks like we got our first big catch, guys.
Right. And this also is a good public PSA, because when you start getting into these cheats and going to these black markets for this stuff, a lot of times those things are going on your PCs. They are putting backdoors and they are putting key loggers and they are putting all kinds of other nonsense on your PC that you don't want. One of the more popular things people are doing with some of these type of backdoors is they're putting cryptocurrency miners on your PC.
Oh my God!
If you've downloaded something and all of a sudden your PC performance is super bad, you don't understand what's going on, you check for that, because it's been found on several websites and several black market or gray market software where they've installed, you got the software you're asking for, but on the back end, they put a cryptocurrency miner on your PC, and somebody's making money off of your PC, off your cycles. So it's something you got to be careful anytime you start dealing with any of this type of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's good that these guys were caught, and it's good that these guys are going away. Video gaming is a multi-million-dollar business, and when it comes to cheating in all aspects, cheating online, cheating in esports, like, it's getting shut down, man. Like, this they want this stuff. They want to make serious bank off of this stuff. They want this on your TV. They want this stuff on your radios. All of this backdoor nonsense is not going to play a part in the grand scheme of things. Technology is advancing. So these guys that have been, creating these, these backdoors and using these third-party applications to, cheat and, monitor stuff in games, that's all getting shut down, man. Because especially a game like PUBG, they got a lot of money that they're projected to make just because of its current popularity and the rise of esports. They're not having any of this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, so damn good on PUBG and their anti-cheat software for catching these guys, and to anybody else out there, be warned, dude.
Yep, be warned. Yep,
be warned. Like, they are not playing out here anymore.
Nope,
they're not playing. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We got one more story in our top 5. It seems like this is more than 5 stories. Yeah, it's because like we had like multiple stories when it came to Microsoft and Nintendo. But this is the last one. we're gonna move on right after this. So let's go ahead and get into it. H1Z1 is in the news, and it's strange because out of nowhere, this game is going to be coming to PlayStation 4.
Right.
Now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, that these guys are just going to jump back into the fray and try to compete with PUBG and Fortnite, you got another thing coming. They might get more numbers than Radical Heights, but you know that's gonna be a solid number 3 spot on the list there.
Right, because there's no mention of any kind of cross-plat play. So that's the first problem. Secondly, it's just old and people just moved away from it.
It's just old.
it's essentially, it's like, if you look at it, it can be considered a cross between Fortnite and PUBG. So it's using the style of Fortnite, while the game is PUBG, where it's more realistic than Fortnite is. And it plays at about the pace of Fortnite. But beyond that, there's a whole bunch of issues going on with H1Z1. So first,
oh man,
it's coming to PlayStation 4, right? But there's a there's an unusual issue brewing with the developers. They're called Daybreak. Apparently, they are owned by a Russian oligarch who's been sanctioned by the United States. So this Russian oligarch's assets have all been frozen. And now Daybreak is saying, no, we're not owned by them. But after this guy's assets have been frozen, they start laying people off. So, I mean, something is going on.
Something's going on, man.
Something is going on there. Beyond that, there's also a esports league that's being launched in Vegas for a game that's barely being played. So there's a lot of stuff swirling around this H1Z1. It feels to me as this is a Me Too play. It's a Me Too play from Daybreak and H1Z1, and it's a Me Too play from PlayStation because they missed out on PUBG. And also the fact that Sony is jumping into bed with them makes me think that PUBG may not be coming to the PlayStation anytime soon.
No,
if at all.
Yeah, if at all. Yeah. Microsoft has gone out of the way to state that they're working alongside the PUBG company and Bluehole to further optimize the game for Xbox One. They've been actually working with these guys. They're sinking money into this game for their home console. That must have come sorry for the crack there. The crack of my voice. That must have come with some kind of deal, some kind of like extended exclusivity or something like that. It was never stated that it would not come to PlayStation 4, but H1Z1 is ancient. A lot of these current battle royale games took influences from H1Z1. It was pretty much the first, like, I wouldn't say fully functional, but the first actually playable version of this of the battle royale genre.
Is arguably the game that launched the genre.
Yeah.
Now there were other games before this, but this one, the popularity that it enjoyed, helped launch the genre that we're seeing, what we're seeing today.
Right.
But like we both said, nobody is not nearly as popular as it had been. Fortnite is just destroying everything. Right now. And PUBG while PUBG's numbers have gone down a little bit, it's still pretty healthy.
Yeah.
It's pretty healthy. And in fact, recently on my friends list, I've seen a lot more people playing PUBG after the most recent update that kind of stabilized a lot of stuff, a lot of issues that were on the Xbox One version. So,
so it's a lot of stuff going on in the background with H1Z1. It's going to be very interesting to see how all of this comes together. But them being in bed, like PlayStation being in bed with these guys, that's a bad omen right there.
Yeah, I don't see, like, I don't know if this is going to make a dent or do anything positive for Sony and the PlayStation. It's not going to. I know for sure it's not a system sell. Nobody's going to go out like that doesn't have a PlayStation and say I'm going to buy a PlayStation because I want to play this game.
No,
I can't imagine that. And OpenAI is what 75 million PlayStations out there somewhere around there in the wild. I can imagine that there's going to be maybe 1% of the people, so that's about 750,000 that might pick it up and play it for a while.
Yeah,
and,
I mean it's going to be free to play, so
right with microtransactions, of course.
Yeah.
But that'll help them out if they can get about 1 million people on the game at any given time and playing it, or But
yeah, they're gonna have to implement some kind of crossplay, and you know how stingy PlayStation is with that.
I can't imagine them doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like an odd move when you have such much more popular games like in the limelight, and then you want to jump back to H1Z1, and it doesn't help them that it's they might be owned by a Russian oligarch that's sanctioned by the U.S. government.
Right.
And that's just a whole nother can of worms that we're not even gonna fully open. We just freaked it, popped it open for a little bit. We're not gonna jump down that rabbit hole.
We told you about it. Yeah, fire up that Google machine and because I've read about it. I went through it and it's really interesting. It's super convoluted.
Oh,
super convoluted. It's And if you go and read, make sure you read more than one source.
Yeah.
Because the whole story, not one. I haven't seen one source show the whole story.
The entire story. Yeah.
It's really convoluted and complicated.
It's weird, dude. It is a weird read. So we'll leave that one up to you. But that was our top 5 news stories for this week. Took us a little long. It was a little girthy there in the middle. But let us know what you guys think about it. If it's with the first story, the last story, anything in between. We want to hear what your guys' thoughts are, because that's our job. We present the stories to you, we give our opinion, and now we want to hear from you. So make sure that you hit us up on our social media. Details are right underneath Boogie. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see all that information in the description as well. And as always, all of our sources are listed in our show notes, and those are posted on our Facebook page. So if you want any extended reading on any of the stories that we talked about, you can check that out there. We're on Facebook, a weekly gaming news show, or facebook.com/AWGNS. And with that, we can go ahead and jump out of the top 5 and into this week in loot boxes.
And look, we got a doozy here.
Oh my God!
We're gonna start you off a little bit light.
Yeah, we're gonna start you light. Then we'll punch you in the face with this one, because this is pretty crazy. All right, so first up, we have another game that post-launch will be removing loot boxes from its game, and that is RoboCraft.
Right.
I've never heard of this game, but I'm actually, any game that, comes out and says, hey, we're removing loot boxes, that's just another game that we don't have to worry about, messing or screwing over its fan base. So while I personally may not be a fan of this, I can see how this can benefit the players that actually do enjoy it.
Right. So yeah, RoboCraft it's a PC game. It's a build and shoot. Like, you build your robots, you add stuff, you shoot it, and you kill stuff. So at first point, it had a tech tree based system, right? So what game can we? What's the game we just been playing? Far Cry.
Yeah.
We have the progression tree. You pick the tree and where you want to level up. That's how it was at first. Then they added loot boxes, which people actually were pretty upset about, and now they're just taking them back out and reverting back to that tech tree. Yeah. So there's that. So yeah, I hate loot boxes. They are the worst in microtransactions. Like I said, if you're going to give me microtransactions, let me pick what I want to buy. I'm more receptive to that than I am to the random, here's your item.
Yeah.
Maybe you got what you want, maybe you didn't.
Yeah. I need water. 1 sec. Over here dying. Okay. So super happy that it's being removed. Just another game that we could scratch off the list. Hopefully a lot of other games follow suit. And we have a big reason why they should in this next.
Why they may have to.
They may have to, yeah. it is highly suggested that they do this because in Belgium, loot boxes are now illegal.
That's correct.
Illegal in their entirety.
Right.
Loot boxes illegal in Belgium.
Yeah. So we talked about the Dutch saying that some forms of loot boxes were right.
Yeah.
Well, the Belgian Gaming Commission said, look, loot boxes don't conform with our laws, and they specifically looked at Star Wars Battlefront 2, FIFA 18, Overwatch and CS:GO.
Yep.
And they determined that FIFA 18, Overwatch, and CS:GO loot boxes were illegal. And you may be asking, well, what about Star Wars Battlefront 2? Well, they escaped this particular determination because at the time of the investigations, remember Star Wars had removed. Yeah,
they removed the loot boxes. Like before the game actually launched.
Right. So at the time of this investigation, there were no loot boxes in Star Wars, so they were okay. But so they determined that they're illegal. They said in a statement from the Minister of Justice, Cohen Geens, said that they were illegal and demanded that they be removed or risk a prison sentence.
Ooh.
The developers are facing a prison sentence of up to 5 years and a fine of up to 800,000 euros.
Not the developers, the publishers.
The publishers, I'm sorry. Yeah. And if minors are deemed to be involved, those punishments can be doubled. So now they're looking at 10 years and 6 million euros in fines, and that's a serious gauntlet right there.
Yeah. They're talking about actual jail time for publishers for loot boxes. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But I think less worrisome for the companies is the jail time. More worrisome for them are the fines.
Oh, I'd love to see some of those guys go to jail. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but they don't care about jail time because if they put Bobby Kotick in jail, they just find somebody else to replace him, right? But if they start taking away their money, that's when they're gonna have a problem. The European Union is not playing. The Netherlands says it's partially illegal. Belgium said it's all illegal.
Fully.
So the ball's in your court, loot box purveyors. The ball's in your court.
Yeah, you still think loot boxes aren't intrusive and aren't affecting people negatively? All right, pay up then. Pay money.
It's interesting that they chose these 4 games because these 4 games all use different loot box systems.
Right, and the fact that all of them are illegal.
Exactly.
In their eyes, like that's crazy. So it's only cosmetics. So it's valuable to somebody.
Yep. So like CS:GO loot box PUBG is similar to what CS:GO has, and I can't think of. I know Fortnite is similar to what CS:GO has, and then we look at loot box. I mean, with loot box, when you look at Overwatch, you're looking at stuff like Destiny and I can't think of anything else. But it's the random Star Wars Battlefront, the ones they just implemented. That's another the mobile game that we talked about, Pocket Camp. Yeah. All of those are similar to like the Overwatch one. So and then FIFA, I mean, that it pretty much covers loot boxes across the board.
Across the board, yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see how EA and Blizzard
how they respond.
Yeah, how they respond. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it would be very telling if they just cut out loot boxes in Belgium and left them around the rest of the world. That'd be very telling of where their priorities are.
But the problem is Belgium is an EU. Am I mistaken there? Belgium is a member of the EU. Yeah, they're using euro, so they have to be a member of the EU. Yeah. So that would mean that they're going to be in trouble across the EU, because at some point, what I've noticed about the EU, they take the strictest law of whatever body that is. So if it's a French law and it's stricter than the Dutch law, they default to the French law. Mm-hmm. And so what would happen is the EU would come together and say, okay, Belgium's law is the toughest law, that's going to be the law of the land, and it's going to spread to all of the EU member countries. And yeah,
it's spreading like wildfire.
Not looking good. Not looking good for the loot box purveyors, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So I can't wait to see how this unravels. I'm glad we created this segment this week in loot boxes, because it gives us a time to just kind of just like take a step back and just focus on this situation in its entirety, instead of just like covering it in the top 5 or in our quick hits. Because like we said when we first started talking about loot boxes, this is a conversation that is not going anywhere. They want us to stop talking about it, so that they can continue to do what they've been doing. But as long as we make our voices heard, and as long as we demand better business practices from the people that are making our games, because you have to fight with your wallet, dude.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely. I agree.
and that's what the EU and Belgium and the Netherlands, that's what they're going to do. They're going to start fining these guys, and of course it's going to hurt their money, so they're going to be forced to change.
Exactly. I agree.
So this I'm all about this. I am all about this. So I cannot wait to see some of those freaking like PR disasters coming down the line from freaking EA and some of these other companies. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out, and it's going to be really interesting to see how loot boxes are implemented in upcoming games, because we got Call of Duty that was announced, a lot of stuff coming down the line. It better not have loot boxes.
At least not in Belgium.
Yeah, like what if they just didn't sell their games in Belgium anymore?
That would be something they may do, because the thing is, Belgium is not a large country. I mean, it's a pretty small market. So for them to lose out on Belgium, it's like, oh, okay,
that might be an acceptable loss right there.
Right, exactly. I mean, okay. I mean, they have a population of like 11, 12 million people there. So I mean, it's possible they're like, okay, we just won't sell our wares there. No, people that if you live in Belgium, you can't play Overwatch.
Oh,
that's so sad.
Damn, it's gonna be crazy. Right. I can't wait to see how this plays out. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about this story. If there's anything loot box related that you would like for us to talk about or give our opinions on, links are in the description. You can see all of our pertinent information right underneath Boogie. Hit us up, let us know what you think. And let's get these discussions going, man. I love talking about these kind of topics. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to hit up our long form discussion now. And we briefly mentioned the company known as Konami in one of our stories. We talked about the fact that they were bringing back their beloved IP, Konami, but in a
Castlevania.
Castlevania. Konami's bringing back Castlevania, but in a form that a lot of us don't think, represents that IP well.
Right.
That is a AAA IP. It belongs on consoles, and now it's being, relegated to pachinko machines and online cash grabs.
Yeah, mobile.
Yeah, mobile cash grabs. So we want to talk about Konami. We want to talk about it's good times, it's bad times, it's rise and fall. So let's go ahead and get into it. Our publisher spotlight for this week's show. Let's go ahead and dig into Konami. Go ahead.
I think Konami as a game publisher are finished. They don't care about video games. They're not making money in video games. They're making money in tabletop gambling machines, pachinko machines. Yeah. And if that's what they're going to do, fine. I think, and Mount Lover said this last week in chat, they just need to sell the IPs. They have great IPs, and they're not doing anything with it.
And that's the thing, man. They have these IPs, and they're going to use them in ways that are going to make them money. They're not going to use them in the way that we want to see them. Like we want a new main series Castlevania game. I mean, I wanted a Lords of Shadow 3.
Right.
I like that series. I mean,
can you imagine a Castlevania game in the same vein as
Dark Souls?
No, not Dark Souls. The other game you were playing on you and O were playing on PS4. I refuse to get.
Oh, Neo.
Yeah, like Neo.
Yeah, Dark Souls Neo. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. But dude, that would have been crazy. That could have easily been a Castlevania game, like given the right opportunity. And then you have, one of the most beloved IPs around, just being like regulated to a freaking zombie shooter.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Like how, dude? Like,
exactly. I mean, they have stuff. I mean, they had the endless shooters. Like when you look at stuff like Gradius and Galaga and that stuff, all those games could be coming back in some form.
Yeah.
And they're just not interested in it. They want to do like you said, the lowest common denominator that's going to yield them the highest return.
Yeah, like bare minimums when it comes to these guys. Like even with some of their latest releases, like the Super Bomberman R.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I'm glad I didn't buy it. Apparently, that thing is like bare bones, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not a lot of content there.
Right.
And it's telling because it's a $60 game, but there's no real substance there.
Right. The least amount they possibly can do.
Yeah.
The only other game they've been releasing, and they've been doing this every year, was Pro Evo Soccer, and now they just lost a major license. It's actually the license they had that basically kept them alive against FIFA, which was the Champions League. Mm-hmm. They've lost the UEFA's Champions League. It's something I don't think FIFA had. Now, if EA grabs that, there's no reason to buy Pro Evo because they don't have access to the Premier League. And if you don't follow soccer, the English Premier League is essentially the NFL of football, world football. It's where where the players make the most money. It's when you hear about Manchester United, Man City, and Chelsea, and all those big name teams. Liverpool. You've probably heard those names uttered. But that's like the league. I mean, when you look at some of the other leagues, I mean, there's only one or two teams. But when you look at EPL, it's the league. And when they don't have access to that, and they're losing the Champions League tournament, which was essentially exclusive to them.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Because what the Champions League is basically the champions of all of those leagues. The EPL, the top, I think it's top 3 in the EPL, and then when you look at the Spain league, which basically is 2 teams, is Barcelona and I can't think of Real Madrid. That's Ronaldo. And when you look at like all of the top teams in all of Europe all come together and play this Champions League tournament, that is a huge deal, and they're losing that. And again, it's like, they don't want to put the money in. You got to pay money for that license. They don't want to pay money for the license, and it's going away.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, and then like let's just go down the list of some of their other IPs. Contra. When's the last time we seen a solid Contra game?
Yeah, Contra 2?
I mean, they did have one on the DS. I think Contra 4 was the latest one that came out on the DS.
Good. You said good Contra game.
I mean, I thought Contra 4 was good. It was hard as hell.
I can't say I didn't own it. I've never owned a DS, so I would have never played it. But yeah, I mean, they have tons. Contra, Skate or Die. Remember Skate or Die?
I remember Skate or Die.
Jackal. I mean, they had tons of games. Jackal was like one of my favorite games from the '80s, late '80s, early '90s. It was a Jeep shooter. It's basically Contra and Jeeps.
Okay.
Drove a Jeep.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was top down. Yeah, it was top down. But yeah, it's basically Contra and Jeep. You pick up weapons and all that stuff. But yeah, they had good games. Didn't they have the Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, they have the Yu-Gi-Oh card game series. They used to publish the Ninja Turtle games back before Nickelodeon started doing it. But I mean, I think everything kind of just fell apart during the whole like Metal Gear Solid 5 PT era, because who's the developer behind Metal Gear? I can't remember his name.
Oh, the dude that I hate because he's overrated.
Oh shit! I can't remember his name right now. That's bad enough. You said he's overrated. Good lord,
he's full of crap.
Oh my god,
the one that's doing
Kojima.
Kojima, the one that's doing Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, yeah. So
screw that dude.
I mean, I've never played any of his games, but like I at least respect the motherfucker. I respect his hustle. I respect his fan base.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not saying he doesn't work hard.
Okay,
but he's overrated.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, he's overrated.
Okay, so back when he was supposed to be developing the latest entry in the Silent Hill franchise, which is going to be Silent Hills, it was going to be made and directed by Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. Like the playable teaser blew up the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Like they clearly had a hit on their hands. Mm-hmm. Like this game is going to be a hit. And they canceled it. It's like, what?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you read through the tea leaves, they canceled it because it was going to cost them too much money to produce.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was going to cost them a lot of money. They didn't want to put the money in, and so they canceled it. And dude, like, there's probably plenty of studios that wish they came up with that idea. I mean. Essentially, Resident Evil 7 essentially took that and, changed their entire franchise. Like they went with a first person
action game.
And for the first time in this, just like I don't know, dude. It's just super crazy how they had something and then they just let it die.
Yeah.
And then, the whole Metal Gear Solid 5 fiasco where they take the one developer that is making them all of their money and just ousted him and his team and his company name, essentially.
Everything, yeah. And they kept the IP.
They kept the IP and they're running it into the freaking ground.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, man. To think that Konami used to make like the Simpsons arcade games back in the day, the X-Men arcade game back in the day.
Yeah, they used to be one of the hit developers. They were up there with Activision at the time, and they just let it go. I don't know what
they just let it die, and like so now it's like if we ever want to see anything like remotely in the same vein as some of those classics, a lot of the previous employees and developers and workers, they've gone to crowdfunding. Yep. We have the Bloodstain, which is essentially the spiritual successor to Castlevania coming out. Is that still coming out this year or is that next year? I haven't heard anything about it in a while.
Let's look. Yeah,
Ritual of the Night. No official release date, but it is coming out this year. And then you have Kojima, who's now working over at Sony, making his games.
Is he working at Sony? I thought he was just independent. And Sony.
I mean, well, Sony's publishing Death Stranding. It's gonna be a PlayStation exclusive. Yeah. But yeah, he went and made his own studio. It's crazy to see where they came from, and I have absolutely no idea where they're going, on their current trajectory. They're going into the ground.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're as far as a gaming publisher and a gaming developer, they're not. That's not their business, and they don't care. They may release a game every now and then with for one of their IPs, just so they can cash in and prop up the pachinko machines, but. They have no business with these IPs anymore. Like I said, they just need to get ahead and finish their downward trajectory to the point where they have to file for bankruptcy and start selling off these IPs. Because again, like I said, they're not going to invest in them. They're not going to release anything, and eventually they're just going to wither and die on the vine.
Yeah, I mean, and if they do release anything, you can expect it to be the same quality as what we've seen with Metal Gear Survive. It's just a mismatch of game mechanics just running inside of an engine that was created by somebody else,
Yep.
And like even in the game there's been like subtle like jabs at Konami. From the actual developers, the people working on the game actually taking jabs at their own company.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of people that worked for Kojima can't get jobs now in game development because they got blacklisted.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's weird to see such a beloved company go the route that they're going. I mean, because it was bad enough to see companies just like die or like go away. Like, you know, we lost some good we lost some good ones. We lost Midway.
Mm-hmm.
We lost THQ for a while, you know, but you know they're back with THQ Nordic. We've lost some major studios, and it's like, man, would I have wanted Konami to just go away rather than have them on this current path? Probably.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, somebody who would want to take the IP could take it and do something good with it. Yeah. Right now, they're just being held hostage.
Yep, that's exactly it. They're just being held hostage, and it's just it's disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, to say the least, man. It's sad, man, because I have so many beloved memories with Konami. You know, as a young guy on the Sega Genesis, playing like, you know, games like Ninja Turtles and, you know, Rocket Knight Adventures, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the arcade and playing, you know, the arcade, you know, classic beat 'em ups. I mean, it was those games that, you know, gave me the love and appreciation I have for, you know, brawlers and stuff like that nowadays. You know, I'll play something and I'd be like, oh, that is a you know, a clear reference to, you know, this old game, you know, Konami made back in the day or whatever. And it's sad to see it, man. I hate to see what's going on at Konami, and it's sad, and it's even sadder in today's gaming climate. Like with everything else that's going on, you got loot boxes running rampant, and then these motherfuckers want to sell you a second player slot or a second like game save slot.
Game save slot, yeah. Second character slot.
Yeah, a second character slot. They want you to pay for. I'm just like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, like I said, and again, I will agree wholeheartedly with Yama Mount Lover. They just need to sell it off.
Just sell it, man. Just do your pachinko machines, do that all you want. But people have, you know, played these games. People have worked on these games for decades and years. They love these properties. They love the characters. They love the lore. You know, so why would you want to just keep that from people? Or, you know, even worse, why would you want to just destroy, you know, the people's perception of those IPs, you know, because right now Metal Gear is looking like a turd as a franchise right now.
Exactly.
It's like nobody's gonna buy the next Metal Gear game. No, and there'll probably never be another Silent Hills. There'll never be another Castlevania. And besides the mobile game, and it's sad. It's sad, and it's kind of sick. It's sickening that they're doing this.
Yeah, nobody nobody buy those games unless they clearly see that somebody else is at the helm. As long as Konami has them, it's DOA. And it's sad, it's disappointing. It's a whole lot of things, but none of it's good.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of things.
Who doesn't know the Konami code?
Oh shit. Up, down, left, right, A, B start or something like that?
Select start. A, B, B, A, B, A, select start.
Yeah, B, A, B, A. I was close.
I mean, that was on all the games. Contra, Radius, Jackal. I mean, all of those games had the Konami code. And if you think about it, it's so entrenched in our lore. I mean, what's not the word I want to talk? That's not the word I want. I want it's so entrenched. I mean, you still see it referenced to this day in shows and movies. The old Konami code. It was referenced in Ready Player One. I watched his Netflix show. It was referenced in that. And you think about it, he's like, today people still know that code. But when was the last time Konami made a game that actually utilized that code?
Probably Contra 4.
Right. So I mean, that's the type of thing. It's just, and our pop culture is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's our pop culture. Yeah.
That Konami, you know, they submitted themselves in American popular culture, you know, back in the early 90s. and you know that now is just they're just a shell of their former selves. I don't know who's in charge over there, but fuck you, guy, because you just ruined. You're ruining a lot of people's childhoods, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, and some of the games I've had the most fun, like Jackal, like I said, Gradius,
Gradius is awesome.
Castlevania series, some of the most fun I've had playing games, and I can't expect to see anything like that again. At least not from them.
No, definitely not from them. It's a wrap when it comes to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our long form discussion. I felt like you know, with the announcement of a new Castlevania and the way that it's going to be presented to us, we don't even know if it's come out in America yet. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it last week, but we had you know, other pressing matters to address. So we waited until this show to kind of just say our farewells to Konami, because like they are not the same company, and they'll never be the same again.
No,
but
I agree.
But yeah, if you disagree with us, let us know, man. Especially if you disagree, I want to hear what you got to say. If you like Metal Gear Survive, I want to hear what you got to say. We're gonna just pretend that we're gonna pretend you didn't just go at Kojima. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
No. Who's overrated?
Oh my God. Okay, so let's get.
You don't like me saying Kojima's overrated, not you personally, but if you listen to this and you don't like me saying Kojima's overrated, tell me why.
Oh shit. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, let us know what you guys think.
I ain't scared.
Boogie ain't scared. Come at him. But yeah, that's our long form discussion. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna give our final thoughts. These are our last 2 cents on some of the stories that we talked about today. So Boogie, I will let you start. Let's go ahead and get those final thoughts.
Yeah, Steam Spy not going away. I think that it's a valuable tool. I'm glad that they found a way to kind of put the service back up. And the guy that works on it, he said he's going to continue to work on it to improve its results. So that's kind of cool. Sonic Mania Plus, I got it from my daughter on the Switch. I may get it for myself on Xbox at some point because I've been a Sonic fan for not nearly as big a Sonic fan as you, but I've played and loved some Sonic games for sure.
Yeah.
Fortnite headed to China. I mean, there's nothing to say really about that. Valve acquiring Campo Santo. I'm kind of glad to hear it. Maybe that's the first step in Valve making more games. And I'm still waiting for another Left 4 Dead. I don't care about Half-Life, but Left 4 Dead, I'm all in.
Damn, you don't care about Oh my God, well, so many unpopular opinions coming from Boogie today.
Let me walk back on that one. I would play Half-Life 3, and I would be excited for it, but I'll be more excited for another Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
The PlayStation Plus games, I think it's a good lineup for the PlayStation 4. Both games, if you don't have them or haven't played them, I think they're both worth getting. That's Beyond, what's it called? Beyond Good.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, Beyond Two Souls, and then Rayman. Definitely get those. And then Microsoft, all of Microsoft news, the Halo Mine getting shut down. I mean, it's not that IP is bound to happen. The interface with Discord is really good. I like that. The marketing chief stepping down. Everybody moves on at some point, and I still don't think he did a great job with Xbox One. And then the new games for Game Pass, like I said, if you were planning on getting it, State of Decay 2 is going to be on a Game Pass. That's a big get for you there. Nintendo Switch with the unpatchable exploit. I can't say I'm not surprised. It's disappointing. But yeah, Nintendo president retiring. That is, like I said, he was a bridge after Mr. Iwata passed. Yeah, Mr. Iwata passed. And it's not surprising when you look at it from that point of view, as opposed to like he's the CEO and should have been there for longer. The new mobile game, I would like to hear more, but I'm just surprised that they have a new IP that's not hitting the Switch.
Yeah, that's weird. Or the DS for that matter.
Yeah. The PUBG anti-cheat and the people getting arrested. I mean, that's just an escalation of an ongoing battle. And like I said, public service announcement. If you're going to be messing with those type of cheats and bugs and extensions, and the creator, the writer is a little bit shady or is on the gray market, just you got to be wary of what you're putting on your machines. H1Z1 coming to PlayStation 4, that just seems like a Me Too play. Robotech killing the loot boxes. The more the merrier. Let's just keep it going. And the loot boxes being illegal in Belgium. Either Belgium game players are going to lose access to a bunch of games, or a bunch of games are going to lose a revenue stream.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you on most cases. I will add that, you know, I'm really excited for Sonic Mania Plus. Mighty and Ray the Flying Squirrel are going to have like unique character abilities. So it's going to be really cool to see that and replay that game in a different light. Fortnite heading to China. I think that it's kind of weird that the same company is going to be in charge of like two, you know, directly competing games. I just find that kind of weird. Other than that, you know, Valve acquiring Campo Santo, I feel like that's really awesome. It's going to allow for that studio to make some very good games here in the future, because they're going to have the backing, you know, the entire backing of Valve behind them. And so that's going to be good for them. Hopefully that studio goes on to do good things. Rayman Legends, awesome game. If you haven't already played it, Beyond Two Souls, it seems interesting. I heard a lot of good things about it. I may give it a shot. The Microsoft news, yeah, I'm shutting down the PC mod, the Halo PC mod. Look at it this way. Microsoft is probably working on something very similar. So it's not a complete loss. And for those that were, you know, that played it, you know, they had a fun game, and now they can hopefully support the official Halo release and play whatever 343 Industries has coming down the line. The interface with Discord, that's going to be awesome. It'll allow me to stay connected to a lot of my Xbox Live friend list members, because I don't always turn on my Xbox and I don't really use the Xbox app anymore. So having that integrated, which will mean that I can have like everybody there at the same time, because I use Discord every damn day.
Yeah.
The marketing chief stepping down. Yeah, I think that the initial reveal and you know, of the Xbox One was a dumpster fire. They have made strides since then, but they never really bounced back from that initial, you know,
they haven't recovered.
They haven't fully recovered. And after the success that was the 360, the Xbox One was supposed to blow the world away, and I feel like it could have if it was marketed correctly.
Right.
You know, nowadays you do see, like, you know, Microsoft is, you know, trying to get, you know, push a lot of their features.
Right.
You know, they're very feature heavy. You know, we got backwards compatibility, we got this, we got that, Game Pass, blah blah blah. They're pushing all of that. That's great. Now we just need some games. We need to round out this console by providing some awesome games. So I can't wait. I can't wait for E3.
Yeah, I think they had 3 big missteps. The marketing message, bundling the Kinect, and then moving away from the exclusivity, game exclusives.
Yeah. So hopefully with you know, the new marketing chief, we can see some more of the Xbox that, you know, turned me into an Xbot myself. With the Nintendo news, it's not surprising that an exploit was found. It is very surprising that it can't be fixed. It can't be patched. That is super surprising. And Nintendo, I don't know. They got some games coming out down the line that might support online. And if you just cannot stop people from modding and cheating, that's a problem, bro.
Especially if you're charging for it.
Yeah, especially if you're charging for it. And I wasn't planning on paying for it anyway. So yeah, that's a big problem. Hopefully they come out with some kind of soft patch or something. I don't know. They have to do something about this.
Something has to be done. I agree.
Yeah, because that is unbelievable. It's unbelievable because I mean, there's been exploits to Nintendo hardware for forever.
Right.
You know, but it was always counteracted by updating the firmware.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get a system update, you know, and you cannot, you can't take advantage of those exploits anymore until more are found. But like this one will not be patched apparently, and that's crazy.
It cannot be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. The current president stepping down. I'm just hoping that we get some more, you know, we get rid of a lot of the consumer hostility that's been going on over the last few months. I can't really stand what well
Years.
since the Switch.
I think it's been since the Wii.
Maybe since the Wii, since like the decline of the Wii U, maybe last couple of years. But yeah, I really am disappointed in how Nintendo has been treating the consumer base. Hopefully we get a change in direction. The new mobile game looks interesting from what we can see. But again, how are they going to implement how are they going to make money? That's how I want to see how they are going to implement that, like whether it's going to be loot boxes, a high entry point, or microtransactions. We got to see which ones it's going to be. Arresting people for cheating in PUBG, awesome. H1Z1 coming to PS4. Why? Robotech squashing out loot boxes, that's great. And being illegal in Belgium, that's just another one down the line. Eternal Shinobi, thank you for the host, my boy. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Shinobi Dojo. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's all I have to say about my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and wrap this up because it's actually getting late. We started late and it's almost tomorrow.
It is
tomorrow. Well, yeah, it's tomorrow. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you want, you can follow us. We're on social media. We're on Twitter. We're at AWGNS on Twitter. Hit us up. We're on Facebook, a weekly gaming news show, or you can just use our call letters, AWGNS. We're also on YouTube. All of our information is down in the description. Sorry that my voice is cracking. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Send us questions. Send us suggestions. We take them to heart. And we got some new stuff coming for you guys in the very near future. So look out for that. If you take us on the go, you're listening to us on your favorite podcast, we want to say thank you. And if you don't know where to listen to us, Boogie, let them know where they can hear us.
Yes, we are in the general podcasting directory. So if you, whatever podcatcher you're using, wherever you use to listen to podcasts on your Android or iOS device, just enter our call letters, AWGNS, or type us out fully, a weekly gaming news show. You'll be able to find us, subscribe to us, get all the updated episodes. We are specifically listed in iTunes and Google Play, as well as TuneIn Radio. TuneIn Radio also gives us access to your smart speaker. So if you have a smart speaker, if you have a Amazon Echo or the Google Home, I believe it's called. Yeah, Google Home.
Yeah.
Just use the wake up word and say play a weekly gaming news show, and it will play the latest episode, be it this show that's going to be up tomorrow at noon, or a weekly gaming news 10 and 10, which goes up on Saturdays at noon. It will play the most recent episode for you.
Yes. And speaking of the 10 and 10, oh, he said that goes up every noon. So make sure you check that out in case you don't have an hour and a half to listen to the entire podcast. You can get a short 10-minute or less snippet into the week's gaming news. But with that, we have to get out of here.
Oh, yeah. It's bedtime.
It's bedtime. We got to get out of here. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in, especially our live audience. Make sure if you have any questions for us, you hit us up on Twitter. Use the hashtag #AWGNS. Ask us questions. It'll get answered live on stream. But we have to go. So let's go ahead and end this. We are your hosts with the most. This has been a weekly gaming news show, episode 98. My voice is done, but my name is Trinell.
I'm Todd.
And we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.
All right. I have to go because Yanni's still here and his mom is pissed.
She's like,
yeah.
My boy home.
Yeah, I wanted to take him home first, but he was like, "Nah, I'll just hang out while you do the show." And I was like, "Cool." But
school tomorrow.
Yeah, he got school, and it's past midnight, so I got to go.
Dodging those belt swings.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, yeah, but I was what's up?
Did you need me to drop off my version into the?
No, it cut off, and then like when I brought it back on, I just cut it right back on. So I'll splice it together. Everything should be okay. The only thing that I didn't get was the ad screen for new challengers, but I'll just add that in post. So that's fine. Don't worry about any of that. But yeah, let me go ahead and roll out. If it's, I want to say that it should be up on time. I'm actually going to start the render right now, and then because I have to be at work like super early tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm
if
gonna
it doesn't make it. It's fine.
I'm gonna do my best to make sure to try to like schedule it to go live at noon. But let me go ahead and get this dude home. He actually fell asleep here on the couch. He was playing super hot, and he just passed out, man.
If he's not playing it on PlayStation VR, he's playing it wrong.
Man, I think it's fun regardless. I ain't getting no VR. I ain't doing that.
I heard something else the other day. I think I broke a picture frame.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. Thanks everybody for tuning into the live show. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce out. I'll probably see you guys live here on this channel for some video games tomorrow. We'll see. I have so many games I need to play. I need to beat Far Cry, and
I haven't played that since the last time we played together.
Yeah, I need to like get up on that, and then I also need to get some more time into God of War. Apparently that's really good, and then like I've been getting sloppy in Dragon Ball, so lots more video games to be played, and you guys can catch that here on this channel. So I'm out. I'll talk to you later, Boogie. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate y'all, and yeah, we out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.